Considering that products nowadays do not last for a long period of time, it is alarming to think about what is happening with the waste and toxins produced. In 2010, Canada produced close to 25 million tons of waste. In other words, the question that comes to mind now is what kind of goods cause this amount of waste? Well, one obvious, the non-recyclable single-serve coffee capsules. Canadians depend heavily on caffeine, which is the second most consumed drink after water in 2004. Its efficiency and convenience is what draws consumers to the single-serve coffee cups. However, convenience products come at a cost.
The first single-serve coffee capsule machine went to market in Italy in 1983. The idea was for coffee lovers to enjoy coffee without compromising taste. Individual capsules provide enough coffee to brew one drink. The idea didn't catch on though until Keurig came out in 1998. Keurig's K-Cups have gone from having 40,000 machines to being the coffee machine of choice for 1/5 of Americans. All the K-Cups purchased in 2013 could wrap the earth 10.5 times. Less than 5% of K-Cups produced are recyclable, mostly because of the number 7 plastic that is used to make them. For the small amount of cups that are recyclable, consumers must take off the aluminum lid, then empty them of their coffee grounds before recycling them. This means that almost all K-Cups are going straight to the landfill. In North America, Keurig's main competitor is Tassimo. Tassimo's tea discs have recently become part of a recycling program that allows consumers to send in their used tea discs, which they separate to reuse the aluminum and plastic and compost the coffee. Though this is profoundly more sustainable than K-Cups, Tassimo's pricier product leaves them off of counters in our homes.
With all that coffee consumption, is it any wonder that Canadians are turning towards whitening toothpaste? Many oral care products aren't required to list anything but the active ingredients, bypassing the requirement for the complete ingredient list. We do know that many contain Triclosan. While the makers of Colgate assert that they are committed to sustainability and that their small amount of Triclosan is neither a threat to the environment nor to human health, Canada has classified it as potentially toxic to aquatic organisms, bioaccumulative, and persistent. According to the Environmental Defense, even at low concentrations, triclosan harms the health and development of aquatic species. While it is true that water treatment removes a lot of the chemical, it is still found in waterways at high enough concentrations to harm marine organisms. Some toothpaste contain microbeads consisting of polyethylene and polypropylene. These microplastics get washed down the drain and enter the water system, even being reported trapped in Arctic sea ice far from population centers. The sea ice recently has shown a dramatic decline in thickness, and should this trend continue, over 1 trillion particles of plastic would be released into the ocean. Instead of dissolving, microbeads absorb toxins from pollutants like pesticides, oil, and flame retardants. They also look a lot like fish eggs, unfortunately prompting many aquatic species to ingest them. Microbeads aren't just found in toothpaste, but also in facial cleansers, body wash, hand soap, and many others. Natural exfoliants like sea salt, apricot shells, and coconut husks are more effective, but some companies are resistant to use them because the softer, less coarse microbeads require everyday usage, resulting in greater consumption and increasing profits for the company.
Looking at single-serving coffee capsules by section, there's the coffee, the plastic capsule, and the aluminum foil. If the capsule in its entirety is thrown out, then the coffee grounds will decompose in the landfill, producing methane, which is a greenhouse gas, instead of being composted where the nutrients can be recycled. The plastic is a bit harder to look at, as most are from plastic number 7, which general contents are not known, so the pollutants in these are not clear to the consumer. However, these plastics are made from fossil fuels. If recycled, most of the time, due to their small size, they do not get stored in the correct area and will not be recycled. As for the aluminum foil, the production processes release chemicals that contribute to climate change, and some of which are toxic to humans and the environment. Toothpaste and other products containing microbeads have different environmental implications. A common ingredient in toothpaste are carbamide peroxide. This breaks down into hydrogen peroxide and urea. Urea has some environmental implications. It dissolves easily in water, and it breaks down to carbon dioxide and ammonia. Ammonia is toxic to many aquatic organisms, and CO2 can contribute to climate change. Triclosan, as mentioned before, potentially toxic to aquatic organisms, bioaccumulative, and persistent. This chemical in water obtains a risk quotient of 6. Anything above 1 poses a risk, showing that the potential devastating effects on the aquatic ecosystem. Polypropylene, polyethylene, and microbeads are all forms of plastic in the environment, and the impacts were covered in depth in Unit 4. As we know, they are not biodegradable, only photodegradable. Therefore, they will persist as a pollutant in the environment for decades to come. There are also regular transportation and packaging associated with consumer products to consider.
So what can we do? Well, the fundamentals would say to quit coffee. It's associated with indigestion and heartburn anyways. But since it's so addictive, we guess that you're not so thrilled with that idea. So here's some other ones. Switch to tea or Tea Chino's Dandelion Herbal Coffee Blend, which apparently tastes just like coffee. If that doesn't suit you, use fair trade coffee and make it in a French press so that you don't need to use filters. If you'd still kill for your Keurig, at least use the reusable capsules. As for the toothpaste, you can easily make your own, very affordably. You can find instructions on the following websites on how to make your own lotions, shampoos, and conditioners. As well, you can buy brands that list all of their ingredients and do not contain chemicals toxic to the environment and yourself. Will changing our purchasing and consumption habits have the most dramatic impact on climate change? Probably not, but it's the most accessible, tangible, and immediate way we can take action. It's time for us to stop using products harmful to human health and our planet. Let's face it, can you have one without the other? Take matters into your own hands and become a well-informed consumer. If this sounds extreme, try finding microbeads in the Arctic and having enough Keurig cup waste to circle the entire Earth 10 times. Maybe it's time to get extreme green. Check out some links in our work cited for more information about positive alternatives and join us in the movement to change consumption habits and move toward a more sustainable future.